Well, eighth graders, congratulations, because you have made it to the eighth grade and final year here at the Dual Language Academy. And we're here to share with you and talk to you today about one of the proudest moments that we have for eighth grade students, and that's your eighth grade promotion. Because I know you're thinking, what? Why are you talking about the end of this year during the first 2 weeks of school? And that's because there are some things that will happen at the end of the school year that your performance during this time of the year is going to come back on that day. You're probably wondering, wait a minute, Mrs. Miller, what do you mean by that? Well, let me explain. At the end of the year, every student is eligible to win an award called the Pathway to Biliteracy Award. This award is one of the highest honors anyone can receive from being a student at HDLA. Last year, 47 HDLA eighth graders won that award. It is an incredible honor, but it's not easy work. Now, let me remind you that we celebrate all of you for finishing the dual language program. You are doing something that no one else in this whole community is doing. You are learning all your eighth grade curriculum. You've learned all of your curriculum up to here in Spanish and English. No one else is doing that. Do you realize in that alone how amazing that makes you, how incredible you are, and that you made it through this program already is a huge accomplishment. Huge. But some of you are going to want to go a little bit further. So you'll each be getting a pamphlet, and your teachers are going to post it in your classrooms today. I will share it with them this afternoon. It'll be posted in your classroom, and it's also going to be posted on the website. And it explains exactly what you're going to need to do if you would like to earn the Pathway Award this year. First of all, what is the Pathway Award anyway? Well, the Pathway to Biliteracy Award is the middle school recognition of all students' progress toward becoming bilingual and biliterate, meaning that you can't just speak in Spanish, but you can also read and write in Spanish. You may have heard of another award called the Seal of Biliteracy. People often ask, what is the difference between the Pathway Award and the Seal of Biliteracy? The Seal of Biliteracy is an award you get at the end of high school for continuing your Spanish progress. This is a seal that actually goes on your high school diploma, and jobs, colleges, future employers see the seal on your diploma, and it marks that you are bilingual and biliterate. So it actually helps in the future in order to get into colleges and get jobs. But right now, what we're doing is called the Pathway Award. So that's the one award that leads to that. Now, at the end of the year, when we have our eighth grade promotion ceremony, all students that are going to get the Pathway Award will receive their recognition at that ceremony. You might be wondering, okay, Mrs. Miller, so how do I get this award then? Well, here's how it goes. To be eligible for the award, you are going to need to follow 3 things. 1, you have to meet 3 of the 4 credit requirements, and I'll be going over what those credit requirements are. 2, you have to pass the bilingual interview at the end of the school year. And 3, you must receive a semester grade of C- or above in all of your classes during your 8th grade year. Gulp, right? That means you may never get a semester grade of a D+ or below. If you get a grade of a D or below on any semester grade, it disqualifies you. Now you might be thinking, oh man, why are you setting the standards so high? We've actually found that this is absolutely in line with what's going on at San Benito High School, and that if you are going to be ready for San Benito, it's time for you to step it up now. Here's the first set of requirements. You must earn 3 of the 4 credit points. First thing first, your English credit. In order to get your English credit, you must earn in your first semester of school a B- or above in your English class. Now, whose class is that? Any class you have that is your language arts and math class. That means if you have Miss Armenta or if you have Miss Southwood, those are the 2 classes that we're looking at to make sure that you get a B- or above. Now you might be saying, but Mrs. Miller, in the last slide, you said a D+ or below, above. Well, what we're meaning is if you get a D, you're immediately disqualified. You can never get a D for the entire year, but you also have to earn the points. And the first point you can get is from your English class and getting a B- or above in the first semester. That's right now. That's why we're here to talk to you today, because your grades are going to matter from this day, from the first day you started on to the end of the semester until the end of the school year. Your second point is your Spanish. Your Spanish credit is received from your grade in your Spanish classes. So that's your science and your social studies class. So that's where you're going to be thinking about those Spanish classes that you have that are pretty hard. And you might think that Spanish teacher of yours is making it really tough on you because she remains in Spanish for the whole entire class and it's hard. But guess what? I have 2 students that are in high school right now, and they tell me firsthand experience that San Benito High School or any high school you choose to go to is going to be harder than your Spanish, science, and social studies classes are right now. So there are no more excuses. It's time for you to start trying as hard as you can and getting the best grades as you can. So in your Spanish classes, you must have a B- or above in that first semester and not get anything below. You cannot have a D or below anytime during the year in those classes. Your next point that you can receive is for writing. Now, writing classes, or your writing credit comes from your district writing sample that's taken in the spring. Usually we're looking at about May for taking this test, sometimes April, it depends on where it falls, but it's a springtime test and we will tell you about that test as it comes along. And let me tell you something, 8th graders, there is no mistake on your schedule. You all have Spanish language development, or most 8th graders have Spanish language development for a reason, because SLD will help you. Your Spanish language development class is actually Spanish 1 class from the high school. So if you want to know what a high school class is like, you're already taking part of one right now. And in that class, you will learn how to be a better writer in Spanish, but it's time for you to really pay attention to the work you're doing in that class and take it seriously, because that's where you're going to grow the most and get the most support in getting this 1 point. Now, the next point you can get is for your volunteer hours. You must complete a minimum of 5 community service hours using your bilingual skills. Now, people are saying, and last year the kids said, how am I going to do this? It's a pandemic. Everyone's at home. We're not even going out. You don't have to go out. And a matter of fact, the best volunteer hours that were done last year were from kids that did online Spanish tutoring. You could be tutoring any HDLA kids in Spanish and get your points. However, you may not have a family member. So you can't ask your little brothers and sisters and cousins and whatnot if you can tutor them. You need to go to somebody that is not in your family and ask them if you can help them with their Spanish work and help them with their Spanish work. It's the simplest thing ever, and you guys are already great at it. So that's how you can get those. Now remember, how many of those points do you need to earn? 3. But you cannot get a D in any of your classes. So 3 of these points, no D in any classes. So this is one of your requirements for getting the award. And here's the second one, and I'm sure you've heard about this one. The speaking. This is passing the oral interview. If you are going to get the Pathway Award, the final challenge is going to be to pass an oral interview. Each student must come to the interview in professional attire and prepared to give a Spanish speech, well, a Spanish presentation of 2-minute maximum. So you cannot go over 2 minutes. You'll need to practice your speech and make sure that it's not longer than 2 minutes. Since we don't know at that point whether we'll still be at home, we hope we're not, or whether we'll be in school, you have two choices on how you can present. You can either present on Google Slides, or you can actually make a board at home that has pictures on it, and you can paste your presentation on a board and share that with our panel in a 2-minute presentation. Your presentation can be about your experience at HDLA. You've been here since kindergarten. You have a lot that you could share. In fact, you could probably share what school was like when you first got here. If it was difficult or easy for you in your Spanish classes or your English classes because you did or didn't speak the language. You could talk about some of the celebrations we had at school. You could talk about some of the experiences you had that you remember distinctly. Or even some kids have talked about lunch times and what their favorite events to do or things to do or lunch. So we've had all different kinds of presentations about what stands out to you at your experience at HDLA. Or you could talk about your community service hours. And we've had several wonderful presentations where students are able to share with us what they did for their community service hours. Now, I'll tell you, it's your choice. You may present about either one of these two things, but your presentation can only be 2 minutes long. And the great thing about the presentation is you get to practice it in front of whoever you want as many times as you want before you come into the interview. And it usually helps kids get a higher score because as the panel watches you give a presentation that you are already familiar with, they can already see what you're capable of in Spanish. Now, after you give your presentation, we'll follow the presentation with some interview questions, and you'll get questions mostly probably in Spanish, but some may be in English too. And that's where we're going to score your oral language ability, which means your ability to speak in Spanish. And I wonder how many of you guys are guilty of going to your Spanish classes and speaking in English because it's easier. Well, that's not going to help you to pass the oral interview. What you need to do is go into your Spanish classes and try to speak in Spanish. Try to stay in the language and see how long you can maintain it. It's not always easy to do. And I know people switch back to English, but you have to hold strong and stay in Spanish. And again, that's where your Spanish SLD teacher is going to save you because she's going to be in there practicing speaking Spanish with you during that class and during all of your Spanish classes. So we have this entirely set up so that you can succeed. Now, that's everything I have to present. I'm wondering, does anyone have any questions? If you have a question, you'll need to go ahead and unmute and ask.
When is
Go ahead and say, hi, Mrs. Miller, this is, and tell me your name, and then tell me what.
Hi, Mrs. Miller. This is Caleb. So when is the whole interview thing happening?
That's a really good question, Caleb, and you're right. I did leave that out. So usually the interviews happen in May, somewhere in the middle of May. So you will know in May whether or not you have made the requirements or met the requirements. Excellent. Okay, next question.
Hi, Mrs. Miller. This is Natalia Martinez, and I want to know how to find kids to tutor.
That's another great question, Natalia. And one of the things that our students did was they got together in a group, and they gave themselves a name. They called themselves the Quarantines, meaning teenagers that are quarantined. And they reached out to the first grade teachers. And they said, hey, first grade teachers, we are looking for people that would like to have a tutor. And then the first grade teachers recommended people. Now, if you're going to do this, I think the first grade teachers might be overwhelmed if all of you came in separately. So you might want to band together as a group and send one message to the first grade teachers from a big group of you and see if the first grade teachers and the second grade and the third grade actually and the kindergarten teachers and even the TK teachers have kids that you would like to meet with. So start thinking about that now. How could you guys organize to get a list of kids that need help from teachers and then send that out so that you can find out who to support. Now, if you want to know who to help support you in that, look again to your teachers because they'll help you put that together. They also know the teacher email addresses, so they could probably help send it out for you. So you'll have to think again, how could you organize that? How could you get that together so that you could connect with those kids? Good question. Next.
Miss Miller, is there an age limit of people we could tutor?
That's a good question. What is the age that you're considering?
A sixth grader.
A sixth grader.
Yeah.
I think that would be fine as long as it's not a family member.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, do we have another question? No more questions? No? Okay. Teachers, did I miss anything? Was there anything that I should have shared that I didn't share? Nothing? Okay, now you know. Now you know how hard you're going to have to work. You're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to step it up. But guess what? There's no difference between you and all of the other classes that have been through this. You are capable of doing this. You can do it. And guess what? You will. So look to your teachers because your teachers are going to help you. They're the ones that are going to be your biggest advocates in this. They're going to, when Mrs. Martinez speaking Spanish, man, you better lean in and try asking your questions in Spanish and maintaining that language and work as hard as you can. Keep the first semester grades need to be B or above. Second semester grades have to be C or above. So first of all, you guys, I want you to give a shout out to your teachers, everyone. The last one, and you guys know me, you've seen this before, put 2 hands on the screen. Let's see it, and let's get a little bring it on. Oh yeah? We're not afraid of your Pathway Award, Mrs. Miller. Bring it on, because we can do this. That's right, you guys, because you can do this. So thanks for coming into the assembly today. Next time I'm going to try to record from Gecko Hall so you can see what it looks like in there. Have a wonderful day. Good luck this year with everything. Study hard, work hard, and congratulations on making it to your 8th grade year at HDLA. See you later.